Do you ever have one of those days where you say something and you go, why did I even say that? Where did that even come from? For instance, why is it for all of these decades we've always said, pardon my French? Usually we say that when we say a vulgar word or something. Pardon my French. The moment that someone says something that, it doesn't fit well into the scene. Oh, don't be angry. Pardon my French. That phrase seems to find its way into a lot of conversations. Do the French say, pardon my American ego? The pardon my French phrase has been around for 120 years, and research shows that the French began a process of getting into the English language in the 11th century, the Battle of Hastings in 1066. The French do not curse more than any other country. It's only a phrase with no real story behind it. It's like Montanans telling North Dakotan jokes. I can't do it here in Carolina. The reason why is because people down here don't get it. In fact, as an adult now living in the Carolinas, I think of those old North Dakotan jokes and I go, that's kind of mean. Why were we even doing that? But here we are, inside today. A sensitive atmosphere. A good North Dakotan joke probably wouldn't even go over. They would probably look at you and say, you just offended me, dude. I think that we need to settle this right now. I don't want to fight you, but I'll take you to court because you just offended me. I'm going to go to social media because of the way that you're offending people. That means you're making fun of me, so other people need to know that you're doing that. Whew. So shocked. To the point that if I said, pardon my French, would somebody from France look at me and say, dude, you just offended me. Why? Hey, it's Arrow. This is The Daily Mess, a chronological walk through an everyday world. I am a daily writer. I take stuff like this and you research it. You dig in. You kind of go in there and say, okay, are we doing it right or are we still doing it wrong? What is the correct way to be strolling down this path? You write about it. This is The Daily Mess. Today we're reading from September 20th, 2022. Folgers created a jingle, probably long before I was even brought into this world in 1962. And Folgers in this jingle said, the best part about waking up is Folgers in a cup. I honestly can't live without my morning coffee. I love it. It has to be hot, and sometimes I like it cold. Either way, it's got to be jet black. I don't want anything in there at all, such as sugar or cream or anything like that. I want that full flavor of coffee. I want it to taste like it smells, from the coffee grounds to the first sip. If invented today, trust me, they would label it a drug, and then people would start getting arrested because they had a cup of coffee. You are under the influence of caffeine. You're being too uppity. I was at a lecture last night. I was invited to speak for 3.5 hours. And one of the things that I enjoy doing is getting to know those that are in attendance. I like to hear the stories. And you know what happens when you do that? You're opening yourself up to really receiving a lot of bad news of how people got to where they were in order to be there with you. But you listen and you have compassion and empathy. And if somebody is talking about having too much coffee and they get the jitterbugs going on, I understand because I've been there. And I wonder sometimes if that's what's wrong with a lot of our modern day conversations. It's me. By the way, me. And then by the time we get around to saying, well, how's your day? They're already gone. They got bored. They got depressed. They just didn't feel good anymore because it was about me. So sometimes what you need to do is you need to go back and you need to convince yourself that saying little phrases like pardon my French can be a conversation starter, but don't make it the entire conversation. Or what you do is you do a little bit of research about what's going on in the real world. Leave the politics, the religion, everything like that out. Leave out the inflation, leave out the war in Ukraine. Just have a conversation about something that the two of you can relate with. And what happens is that it builds up that relationship. And don't stay in it too long, because I'm also a firm believer that getting too close for a long period of time is also a relationship breaker. I know people will say that all the time. They'll go, oh my God, I got to be with my friend all the time. I got to do this. I got to do that. We're going to go do this. We're going to spend this much time. We're going to do the entire week. We're going to spend an entire month together. And then it breaks up. You're ghosted and you're wondering what happened here. You know what? The best part about waking up might not be Folgers in your cup, but rather the excited opportunity to hear something new today, because you're going to be open for that kind of conversation with somebody you're going to meet. I'm Arrow, and that's The Daily Mess.